Hey, all, welcome back to Red at the Wire. Well, it was a history-making Belmont after all, quite a race. So let's take a look back on it and see what happened. So here we go. Take a look and run at the 2023 Belmont Stakes. And incidentally, it was nice to see Tom Durkin back calling races. He was a little rusty, I'll have to admit, but he'll be rounding back into form quick, and that always adds to a big race, his calls. So let's see how they did. And you see, everybody pretty much broke the way we expected. Tapatrice at the rear, kind of expected Red Route 1 to be there like he always is. So he was a little more forwardly placed, as was Angel of Empire. You see him rating there, and I guess that was the product of the blinkers. Don't know that was the best decision on Brad Cox's part, because it does seem to take a little bit out of him in the stretch. But you got National Treasure on the lead. I kind of thought he was going to rate behind Tapatrice, or if they sent Il Miracolo. And that actually worked out well, because I think sending Il Miracolo would have just made a travesty of the race, with setting ridiculously hot fractions for the Belmont. So anyway, we got Hit Show and Tap It Shoes rating just off the leader, which we sort of expected. Angel of Empire up a little further, much closer than we expected. Thought he'd be about where Tapatrice is here. And you see Forte doing what he normally does, mid-pack. Now, here was the thing. Arcangelo got a really nice ride, because he was a little keen to get up there, and he was into the race earlier than the horses that finished behind him. So he's sitting chilly there. He's in really good position, and he's saving ground, most importantly. You see Tapatrice, they got him to the outside so he can get into his stride. And a little past the three-quarter mile mark, he made a little early move, and I thought that was interesting, and it wasn't a bad call. The problem is he just couldn't get to the leaders, and Angel of Empire went right with him. And at this point, you think it's just going to be a duel between those two, but they just can't get to National Treasure. And you see Arcangelo, he got the rail, made his move, and that was it right there. Kind of like when Caveat years ago in the Belmont made that tight move on the rail. Johnny B, I think, was a little surprised to see him there. I think he was looking more at the outside, and consequently he gave it up, and Arcangelo took advantage of it. And you see down the stretch, Tapatrice, again, just not doing it. Just a little too late to get going. You see Forte with a big run, and he was a little late to get engaged, and there we have it. History made. Jenna Antonucci, first female trainer to win a Triple Crown race. Good for her. Great ride by Arcangelo. Definitely surprised me. I was a horse that improves that leaps and bounds like he has. It was hard to believe that he was going to do it again, and damned if he didn't do it. So he's a special horse. It's going to be fun to watch him this summer. I'll suspect he'll be at Saratoga, so I'll be looking forward to that. Just a great race overall. So I guess this is the year Javier Castellano finally got his due. Got the Derby on Mage, got the Belmont and Arcangelo, gave them both exceptional rides. And I can't stress that enough. That ride on Arcangelo was outstanding. And to get through on the rail where he could have easily been shut off, and to be more forwardly placed and engaged in the race. And I think that was the key to the Belmont, is that he didn't let the race come to him. He went to it. And I think that's what ultimately made the decision, or made the race. You see, the others were just late to the party. Don't think they necessarily were going to win, but they just waited a little too long to get going, in particular Forte. It looks like to me that if he had just been a little more engaged a little earlier in the race, perhaps he could have given Arcangelo a duel down the stretch, but it just didn't happen. Regardless, it's a great history-making race. Jenna Antonucci, the first female trainer to win the Triple Crown. There's been a lot of great female trainers for a long time out in horse racing, so it's nice to see one of them get the recognition that she deserves for sure. We're going to have more. It was a great day of stakes racing. I was there, and then I'll tell you that there was a really nice slate and the Met Mile and the Woody Stevens. There were some really good races, and we're going to recap a couple of them as well. So be on the lookout for that. And we're finished with the Triple Crown, but we got Saratoga coming up, and we're going to be very involved in that. You're going to get a lot from me in terms of content as far as Saratoga goes. We'll mix in Del Mar. We'll throw the Haskell in there. So the bottom line is the racing season doesn't end with the Triple Crown. It's actually just beginning. So there's going to be a lot more. So stay tuned, stay with us, and stay within the group, and you'll see everything that you need to be right at the wire in some of these bigger races. If you do like what you see here, of course, please like and subscribe. And we thank you all for coming aboard. And for you new people, welcome. And it's nice to have you. And keep those comments coming. Again, I can't tell you how much I enjoy and appreciate all the comments I get from you guys. It keeps you going. It's hard to make these videos sometimes. It can take up a lot of time. So those type of things are bolstering, and I really appreciate it. And I don't mind the criticism either. It's usually constructive, and if you have something to offer, I'll be more than willing to listen. So stay with us. The racing season looks like it's going to be a good one this summer, and on to the Breeders' Cup, and we'll be there for every step of the way. So I'll be talking to you in the very near future, and until I do, be well.